This place is magical. Check it out. An albatross looking like a god. Huh?
Like a god.
Like a god in the middle of Oregon.
But it's cool that like a random road is that nice. I mean, maybe for people from the area it's business as usual, but for us, really cool.
Really cool.
Hey, this is Next Meridian. We are Nick and Mathilde and we left everything behind to travel the world with our Land Rover Defender, Albatross. 3 years, 7 continents, 88 countries, and just the road as a home. We made it to the USA!
USA! Woo!
Woo!
And everything is in miles. So 70 miles, we had to download a little picture that showed you the miles to kilometers per hour conversion. So right now it's a highway at 70 miles, which is actually 115 kilometers per hour. So I think we're gonna start having to get used to what the different speeds are. And then we won't use that little paper we have. So let's go to Seattle. And we're going to be seeing Instagrammers who are also, I think, van lifing, and they have told us when you come to Seattle, if you guys are staying with us, we're house sitting someone's house, and so there's tons of rooms and you guys can have one, and we're gonna stay one night because tomorrow we're going to the garage to do all the oil changes, and then we start.
In this episode, we will travel from the USA-Canada border all the way to Southeast Oregon. Although our plans changed along the way, we found there what we were looking for in the USA. But before all of that, direction Seattle to meet with Betty and Saros. She is a computer science PhD from Kosovo, and he is a mechanical engineer from Nepal. No detail needed. Those two have a fascinating lifestyle. They built themselves a beautiful house on wheels that doubles up as an office to keep up with their careers, even on the road. We are at the house of Betty and Saros, and they're showing us around their van. It's beautiful. They made everything themselves, and they left from West Virginia and ended up here. Ended up finding a job in Seattle and traveled through the area. But the van is still here because they still live in it.
Battery and everything. Yeah. And then we also carry an air fryer. So it has to run.
Oh yeah.
It's like we cook a lot.
Yeah. Cool.
You saw the water stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have the shower coming out here.
And then another like table if we want.
That's
to
nice.
Work from here. Yeah.
Ciao, Sarus! Take care. Yeah. You too. Let's go. That is the most number of Defender we've seen since Europe.
Today we came to Brian's Defender Northwest store, and we got recommended this place from Ava that we traveled with in Alaska, and so this is his new shop.
Yes, brand new.
Brand new, right?
You're the first customer in the shop, in the new shop.
Yeah.
In the new location.
So we're the very first customers. There's tons of Defenders below. There's 7 Defenders.
Another 5 below and 6 or 7 out front.
Right. Ooh. What? Nice. That one is beautiful. Okay. And they're moving into this new store. And so I'll let Brian introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Brian. So we're Defenders Northwest, and we're the Defender-only shop up near Seattle, Washington, and we service customers coming in and out on their way to and from Alaska, as well as all of our locals. The breaker bar would probably be easier for you as well.
Yep. That one?
Yes.
This place, actually, this is what I wanted you to say, is we have never heard of something like this, and that's why we came here when Eva said it. It's because Brian can do the work on your Defender. He will do the restoration of your car or restore a complete new car, but if you are doing maintenance on your car, he says you should come here and we'll work on it together, and that's why we're here. So
dust, and then dirt holds moisture, and so then that can cause rot and rust over time, like when it gets in between.
Okay. Yeah. The objective is he will show you how to do it, but it's up to you to do it. And so that's why I had to learn how to do front axle, back axle, oil change, removing and putting the new filter in. Now I'm putting the oils in. It hasn't turned white, right?
Correct. So no moisture, no water inside.
Yep.
And it doesn't smell bad, like doesn't smell burnt.
Good. So I get to use his tools, his whatever you see here, but it's my hands that I'm using and his brain. That's how it works. Come right now. Oh. Yeah, there we go.
Because then you're not afraid to do the work later.
Exactly.
It's less intimidating, so.
Yeah. And you did the same thing with Ava.
Yep, all day.
All day. Cool, awesome. And now we're at the oil refill. And after this, I think we check the transmission grease. And
then we'll check the slip joints on your prop shafts as well.
Okay.
We woke up to the view on Mount Rainier and we're super excited to be back on the road after a week, seeing friends, crossing the border, seeing more travelers, and then at the garage yesterday. Now we really feel like going back on the trails and hiking and being back in the nature. And we love the nature in the States, so super happy. And we're going to start with Mount Rainier. Yes, finally we're ready for some hiking in the Washington and Oregon states.
How are we feeling about being in the US?
It's not obvious right now because the landscapes are a bit the same than when we were in Canada.
That's true.
But we're
And
excited for what's coming up.
it still is in dollars, even though it's US dollars. The language is the same. The roads are similar, the cars are similar, everything looks similar.
There's just more cars.
Just more people, that's for sure. But for now, it's yeah.
Good weather.
Feels the same, good weather and
Good landscape.
good landscapes. Wow, it's so nice here. What are we doing?
We are sticking back together the seal of our waterproof shoes.
Yeah. So right now our shoes were opening up a lot. So mine actually open from here all the way till here. So I actually put tons of super glue. And it's not holding very well on this part, but I also put some on this side. Looks messy, but I don't really mind. And now Mathilde is trying to super glue her shoes.
Can you introduce me to your little friend behind?
Yeah, Mount Hood, 3,400 meters more or less. We are not gonna go to the top. It takes 7-8 hours to come back down, and my foot hurts. So we are going to walk more on a flatter surface, 200 meter elevation for about 3 hours. The super glue is holding pretty well. Look at that, nice. And look at Mathilde's shoes. They look all sealed up. Looks a bit, there's still some stains of the glue, but that we do not care. Awesome, sweet.
Super glue.
Shoes brand new. Let's go. Mount Hood over there.
Mount Hood.
Yeah.
I think that's the exact.
There we go. This is where our trail ends, right?
Maybe we're going a bit higher.
Or maybe a little higher. Anyway, Mount Hood and the valley. Look at the view of tonight. It is insanely nice. Look at that. Nice.
We need to get used to a new rhythm now. It's October in the US, so night comes down at 7 p.m. We're used to much later evenings, you know, cooking till 8 or 9 outside. And it's only going to get worse, only going to to fall earlier and earlier. So we figured we really need to wake up earlier, do all of our stuff earlier, and then set up camp around like 5 or 6 so that we still have daylight to cook and eat outside. That's going to be an adjustment for sure. Unfortunately, at that point, we had to cut short our plans because of a foot injury, limiting the time we could actually hike. That happens, it's not a problem.
Good morning, America. I've always wanted to do that. This is the view from Mount Hood, Oregon up there. And today for breakfast, we are making, well, I am making a omelet with tomatoes, onions, and a sausage. Well, this one won't be in the omelet, but the other ones will. And then we will enjoy this awesome view. This is just like in the movies. Love it. Oh man. Yes.
Because we had to find an alternative to our hiking plan, what happened next was just not expected. We decided to drive east, and in a split second, we ended up being surrounded by a desertic landscape that looked just like another planet. Since we left Mount Hood this morning, the landscapes changed dramatically. Now we're in the middle of some sort of like hilly prairies. Feels so nice to be able to like cook outside again and look at the view. We're going off-road in Oregon. Where are we going?
We're going to Painted Hills, which is 80 kilometers through off-road, gravel road, a bit deserty. And we're gonna reduce the tire pressure. Normally I run 3.5 bars in the back, which is pretty high, but because we're usually on asphalt. And when we're off-road, I bring it down to 2.4 in the back and 2 in the front. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now.
No hiking, no problem. We decided to follow the advice of some people we had met, and we picked up the smallest route and definitely not the shortest to our destination. Far away from advertised scenic routes and national parks, we found some of our favorite landscapes.
I'm working on that old steamboat and I learned to rob and steal. When my feet had touched dry land, how happy I did feel. Been saving every penny for to make up through the fall.
Our first encounter of the day. The wild animal appears.
Here from me, I've been tied to a ball and chain. Well, come this time tomorrow.
The road is insane. Oregon, thank you. This is what we've been needing after so much forest in Canada, which was also great, but I think we wanted just to change a little bit. And wow. All right, ready to go?
Ready to go!
Sweet. And Mathilde is enjoying that off-road. Anything to say?
Yeah, it's refreshing to have a new type of landscape. But yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing else to add.
We're going to Gosner. Gosner Road, yep. Don't we just love it how everything here in Oregon, anyways, in this off-road, looks just like the American movies?
Yeah.
The Midwest American movies. We're just waiting for horses and people to shoot each other with pistols.
No cliche. No, we don't do cliche here.
No cliches, but it really looks like it. I love it.
I love that it says continue straight and then the road is just like this like non-stop winding thing.
I can't believe this is not a scenic road. It really feels like being in a movie or something, and there's not even one car since we started it, and we've been on it for almost an hour and a half. I can't believe there's even a water crossing.
That's Nicholas' favorite thing ever. We are bringing lunch to the beach. We have today salad with spinach, hummus, tahini based sauce, cucumber, some tomato, some carrots, and Nick has a sandwich on top. And the place is
We're on top of the world!
We're on top of the world.
On top of the world! Hey! Painted hills, little lake. We drove through that whole canyon for about an hour and a half, 2 hours even actually. And now we're standing on this hilltop and let's see what we see.
After a day on the dirt roads in Oregon, that's our view for tonight, with a beautiful campsite. We took a fresh shower, we're full on water, so it's super nice. Yeah, we're really loving Oregon. It's a real change from what we saw in Canada and the northwest of the USA. So it's like so exciting for what's coming up next in the USA. Yes. The next day, we went again. More roads on beautiful sceneries. Very, very few people. Just more of everything we enjoyed so much the day before. Slowly, we entered the high deserts of Oregon, warm during the day and freezing during the night. At this point, we head to one of the most special place and kind of landscape we had seen in our trip so far.
Just in case we weren't sure if we were in the US, well, now we know. Wow, look at that. Cool.
Every turn is more beautiful than the other one. It's sunset, so we're taking the drone again. We cannot escape taking the drone out again. We show you that.
in the middle of Oregon. And look at how beautiful this all is. Mathilde taking the pictures. How do they look?
Yeah, it's nice.
Ooh, nice.
With Nick, we promised each other we would stop driving too late, especially because the sunset now is pretty early. It's around 7 p.m. But the sceneries here are so nice that we kept like stopping and then making some drone footage and taking pictures and then walking a bit. So now it's late, but we didn't see the time go by. Like the sunset is complete. So we're heading toward Alborddesert, but it's going to be even more fun because we're going to wake up in an entirely new type of landscapes. So it will be fun to discover that in the morning. Let's see.
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
We're in the middle of Alborddesert. We made it. Albatross looking cool as hell in the middle. Mathilde looking pretty. And the car is ready for us.
I look cool as hell as well.
Yeah, you do. And the sunset just here next to us. Look at this. In the middle of the desert. Tonight it's gonna be filled with stars.
It does look like a desert. Look at this. Tune in next week to see how this very special place looks like in daylight. There is also much more happening as we enter Yellowstone. Unfortunately, everything did not go as planned starting from then. Subscribe to the channel to follow the journey around the world.